Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining this UNH Alumni Wildcat Family webinar. I am Karina Garnis with Alumni Relations, and we are pleased to be joined tonight by Katja Kleyensteuber, who is a UNH 2016 alum. Katja self-authored and illustrated this fun book, Myna Joins the Band, to help you choose the right instrument when deciding to join your school band. It's an important decision and one that Myna and Katja want to help you with. If you have questions, please type them into the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen, and Katja will answer them at the end of her reading. We will be recording this evening's presentation, so you can access it again later and share it with friends. And with that, I will turn it over to Katja.
Thank you so much. Hello, my name is Katja Kleyensteuber. I graduated from UNH in 2016 with a Bachelor of Music in Music Education, and I taught for 3 years at the high school level in New Hampshire. I am currently a middle school band and music teacher down in Massachusetts, right outside of Boston. And I'm also getting my Master of Music in Music Education at Boston University. In my time at UNH, I played trombone, and I was in all the ensembles: jazz band, brass quintet, wind ensemble, choir. And what inspired me to play the trombone was in 2nd grade, I started piano. So I got a little bit of a foundation with music. I liked it. In 4th grade, this was the big decision where my parents didn't pick the instrument. I got to pick the instrument, and I decided on trombone, not only because it seemed really fun, but because honestly, I was the only girl, and I was like, I bet girls can do that too. The trombone looks really cool, and here I am now, a professional trombone player and teacher. So what inspired me to write this book was when we went into virtual schooling in the spring. My middle school band couldn't go and perform for elementary students who still needed to decide which instrument that they wanted to play in the fall when we started school again. So I wrote this book as an introduction to all of the band instruments so that elementary students in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, so you could decide, or so it would help you decide and learn about all of the instruments that are available in band. So without further ado, here's the story. So, Myna Joins the Band, written and illustrated by Katja Kleyensteuber. For Max and Ginger Culpepper. To all future band members and musicians, you make your music teachers proud. Thank you to my colleagues, students, and teachers, past, present, and future. May you continue inspiring through music, and music continue inspiring you. Sincerely, Katja. Myna Joins the Band. Myna woke up and got dressed. It was time to go to the best day of the year in her grade, you know. With great teachers and friends, there was one thing left: to decide on which instrument she could learn best. Her class was excited. They could hardly wait for the musical instruments on display that day. She snuck a quick peek on her way to lunch and could not believe the options were so much. When music class came, she burst through the door, and there they all were, spread across the gym floor. Woodwinds and brass and percussion, oh my! Myna could not wait to give each a brave try. Where do I start? She thought to herself. I'll follow my heart and then ask for help. Miss Keys knows a lot about music and me. If I get confused, I'll ask what she sees. The flute is shiny and small and sounds sweet. It can play all the high notes that cannot be beat. The clarinet is lower and smoother in sound It can play fast or slow with no squeak to be found. The oboe is slimmer and uses 2 reeds. It can sound like a duck and has lots of keys. The bassoon has 2 reeds and can play really low. It is unique in its shape and sound, you know. The saxophone sounds cool and shines like brass. It uses a reed that is made of thick grass. The French horn sings heroically and louder than most. Its bell faces backwards, but do not be thrown. The trumpet has 3 valves, a mouthpiece, and bell. It sounds crystal clear when you play, can't you tell? The trombone has no valves or keys, but a slide. It is unique in this way and can be funny sometimes. The tuba can play the lowest notes around. It is calm and cool, the largest instrument in town. The percussion instruments are played with mallets and sticks. It is fun to learn rhythms with so many instruments to pick. With so many fun instruments to choose, any decision makes it hard to lose. Myna was brave and gave each instrument the test, but which would she choose? Which one was the best? She thought and thought, but could not make up her mind, so she went to Miss Keys to help her decide. Instruments look fun, Myna said. I don't know which to choose. I like them all so much. Miss Keys, what would you do? Miss Keys looked at Myna and then thought out loud. Why don't we try each and see which makes the best sound? So Myna tried each instrument with the help of Miss Keys, and when she was done, she said, "This one's for me." It was perfect in size and shape and sound. Myna was happy with the instrument she found. Which instrument would you pick for Myna or yourself? Is there one that stands out that you'd take off the shelf? The flute. The clarinet. The oboe. The bassoon. The saxophone. The French horn. The trumpet. The trombone. The tuba. And percussion. For percussion, first we have the timpani. Our mallet instrument is the vibraphone. We have the snare drum. The tambourine. And cymbals. Have you played an instrument? If so, which one? Is there another you would learn just for fun? The end.
Katja, that is such a cute book. Thank you so much for reading it and sharing your work with us. We have a couple of questions for you. We have a question from Melanie Williams. She asked, did you draw the illustrations?
Yes, I did. I used Photoshop and I drew everything by hand on my iPad, and then I transferred it in with the words to create the book.
It's so cute. And then Melanie says, awesome book, by the way.
Thank you.
And then Martha Mudrick asks, this is a lovely book. How long did it take you to write and create the illustrations?
So I think normally it would have taken longer, but it was the period right after my graduate classes had just ended and before summer things began. So I published this in May, and I started, I came up with like 2 or 3 lines of the rhyming for the words of the story. And then one day I just sat down and I wrote the rest of it in less than 2 hours. It just happened. It came to me, which was wonderful and doesn't usually happen. And then I'd say working long hours through the day. I really like working on something and seeing the end product. And this was very motivational. So drawing, I think it took me about 2 weeks to complete all of the illustrations. And then edit them and put them with the words. So it maybe 3 weeks total to put the whole thing together. But yeah, it was definitely a fun process.
That's amazing. Only 3 weeks. That's amazing. And I know that the book is already available through Amazon for sale, right, Katja?
Yes, paperback and Kindle. And also, if you have Kindle Unlimited, I believe it's still free. So
that is wonderful. Martha said, just a comment asked in the book, I played the flute, but always wanted to play the violin. But of course you can't play the violin in the band, can you?
No, but orchestra, absolutely.
Definitely. Well, Katja, I want to thank you so much for sharing your work with us. It was really fun to be able to have you with us this evening, and we want to thank you for your time. And to anyone who's out there listening, just so you know, we will be sending a follow-up email with links to the book and And thank you again for joining us, everyone, tonight. And thank you again, Katja, for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Take care, everyone.